So I said we are in the bottom of page Mem Tes. On the bottom. And they're presented with expressions that are really boggling the mind. Towards the bottom of the page, the line before the last, they're concluding a certain interesting phenomenon, that the name of a person is of such great significance and is so closely imbued and intricately connected to the person that a person responds to his name immediately, even if he's in deep faith. It is possible to bring him back by calling by his name. There are 2 points that need to be made in this regard. Number one, the principle that a name, a person knows that this is his name. So that when you call him by name, he responds because he's being called. This is on a, so to speak, on a more conscious level. He's aware that this is his name, that he's being called. Then there is a deeper in it. And that is that names per se, names of people, and we know that the parents give names, it appears to be by parental choice, but really this is what's called a small nevuah, a small prophecy. Now this is really the name that is appropriate, that pertains to this person. This is a very difficult thing to understand and to relate to. For there are other instances where a person chooses a name for himself. But the principle that a person identifies with this name, because this is the name by which he is known, that clearly stays with everyone. That is universal. So from that perspective, the Ayin that he responds to his name is not necessarily the emphasis on his name, that particular name, Yosef Yaakov Babel. But the principle that he has a name, and this is the name that with which he is known. So he responds to name per se, not necessarily to Avraham as his name. But he knows that this is his name. This is how he is called. And therefore he responds to Avraham. So even though this is kind of reducing the impact of saying this is his name, nonetheless, it still speaks for itself that name per se is a deepest significance of the person. This name or that name is from a different perspective. But the fact that he responds to his name, the name that he is known by, the name that he relates to, that shows that name is of extreme significance to him. That really touches him and really reaches deep down into his personal identity of who he is, of what he is, of his presence. That's where he responds immediately. Even to the extent that when he's in faint, you reach in much deeper than his conscious awareness. He hears his name, and his life comes back to him. He restored back to consciousness. Which is something which we're quite well aware of. Sometimes you call a person by name, something, you whisper the name in his ear, but nonetheless there is this connection that's quite significant. But then the Rebbe says at the end of the second line from the bottom, however, this is kind of qualifies what we finished saying. Gam ze move on. It is also understood shehashem einay sichloi, that the name is not the sechel of the person, his actual sechel. These couple of words, and then the next two words, are of tremendous significance to us, and I would like we should try to relate and to understand it. Hashem einay sichloi. This is not his sechel. The Ayin, what is Sechel? What is that? What do I mean it's not his Sechel? It means it's not neshama, it's not his neshama. Sichloi is his neshama. That's a phenomenal statement. What does that mean? Sechel is his neshama. You have to understand, this is a much bigger topic than we ought to discuss to the fullest, but just even to explain these words. One thing about the human life, the human neshama, is that his neshama has the phenomenon of purpose. I just said this morning, in contrast to all other creatures, the human being in this world identifies with a task. As is declared in the Torah, as soon as human being was created, he was told, be fruitful, multiply, can conquer the world. What does conquering the world mean? It means humanize the world, transform the world into a human quality. This is the duty of the human being. This is why he was brought into the world. So his mission as a human being, this is primary in his existence. In other words, a human being is primarily preoccupied with what's my mission, how do I fulfill my mission, rather than how do I enhance my being, how do I take care of myself. Which is the preoccupation of all other creatures. Which is the preoccupation of a human being who does not live along on the level of his Sechel. But in Sechel perceives the truth of life. What does it mean? I'm here. This is what I asked this morning. I said the question for contemplation is the significance of the existence of the world. It is a primary recognition in the human intellect that there is tremendous significance in the existence of the world. There's a godly purpose in the world. This is why the Rambam says that the first principle to know is that there is a first being who brings everything forth. Everything came from the truth of his being. In other words, there was no solicitation. There was nothing missing. The world needed to be supported, and the Yerusha came and supported it. The Yerusha created the world from scratch because of its significance, because of its purpose. One is the kavanah on the creation. This is explained. See that this is a very deep and broad point. The point is that there is a kavanah. There is a kavanah. And the human being in his Sechel recognizes that there is a kavanah. But because he recognizes in his Sechel the kavanah, this is why he is so enticed to participate in what's in the world. And to live. Thus, Sechel, that which he knows in his Sechel, which identifies with purpose and value and meaning, and kavanah like is in divine intent. This is neshama. This is his force of life. Which is what vitalizes his life. Then on top of from this reality of the human being come forth what we call oir, because this reality is of significance, of great significance, great reality, great presence. Let me give us a little bit of a tangible illustration of the concept. There's a company, a big company. And in this company there are many officers, workers and officers, managers. And there's a meeting. And the meeting is to discuss whatever questions that came up regarding the plans for the company. As I settled down to the meeting, everyone is discussing with his neighbor whatever comes to his mind regarding the plans and so forth. Okay, picture this. Everyone is producing some kind of an idea. Oh, this would be good, this would be beneficial, this would be successful, it's not be successful. Whatever comes to mind, everyone can perceive, can project this kind of a free-for-all talk. Maybe 100, 200 people. Then in walks the chairman of the board, or the president, whoever is the most significant entity in this country, to whom it really makes a difference. Who is the ultimate decision maker, the ultimate conceptualizer, the ultimate tone setter in the company. When he settles in and joins in the discussion, the focus of the whole discussion changes. I'd like you to project this. The focus of the discussion at that moment changes from what's most beneficial to where are we going? What is our purpose? What are we trying to accomplish? What impact are we intending to make in this field? Can you relate to that? In other words, the effect of that reality, that real entity, to whom this company is a reality, not just a means of success, who invented the company in the first place, because he believes in what we're doing. Not that it's successful and beneficial. He believes in what we're doing.
Well, what are they discussing before he comes in? Like, I can't really picture it.
Before he comes in, they discuss advantageous, advisable, what's possible to succeed, how's it going to work out?
Like, what's an example?
Should we focus on cars or motorcycles?
I prefer motorcycles.
Huh?
I prefer motorcycles.
There you have. Why? Motorcycles are less profitable because they cost less, but you sell many more of them. For one car, you can sell 3 motorcycles. So the chance of making money with motorcycles is better. And then the other one says, no, we should produce cars because in the long run, cars will make more. Whatever it is, it's all completely on a different level than what the chairman of the board is concerned about. Or the president, the one who's babied, who invented the whole idea.
What does he say?
What?
What does the president say? What does the discussion become when the president comes in?
Why do we need a company for?
Why what?
What do we need a company for? This is where we said the last couple of days talk about oyer. Oyer, as I said, is the impact of the reality, of the presence of the reality. The human impact on the world, not by what he does, but the fact that there is a human being in the world. We all understood that when we introduced this whole topic. That impact, that identification of what he stands for is known, is manifested, is expressed and identified by a person in his Sechel. This is his Sechel. This is what he stands for. There is a Sechel in Ayin neshama. This is actually neshama. This is actually his life force. This is what vitalizes him.
Fine. In the mashal that corresponded to the chairman, the one with the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is all preceding name. That's our point.
Oh, so he says name is of vital importance. Name touches the person very deeply, and it brings him back from faint and so forth, and he responds immediately to it. Nonetheless, it is not still the real thing is not his Sechel. It is not really addressing his Sechel. It's addressing him, his presence, his experience in life, but not what he stands for. Sechel Ayin neshama. Okay, we continue further. The last line on the page.
And that's because Sechel is or per se, and Shem has to do with levush, yeah?
Right. Don't see that. Hare, for behold.
I'm sorry, it just came out of my mind that I came in the middle and it's not very correct to intervene if you didn't listen to what was before. But I just now I think I said I prefer motorcycles, right?
What?
I said I prefer motorcycles.
Yeah.
And you said, of course, from the business point of view, it's better to build cars because it makes more money.
I'll tell you.
What I wanted,
I am projecting what people may say in that meeting, and I really don't know which is more preferable in business.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I was just kind of presenting a meeting taking place among officers of the company rather than the chairman of the company.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Kohler was the last one to come in. He must be the chairman of the board.
He must be the chairman.
I thought Daniel was the chair.
no, because what I want to stress is that it's true that a car is more practical because it carries more people, but driving a motorcycle is a neshama. It's a real pleasure.
I like
My
bicycle.
dear friend, what about the racing car?
I want a bicycle or a truck, maybe a
Nothing to do with
tricycle.
racing.
How about
Why
a bike?
not?
How about a horse? Let's get back down to horses.
Well, how about a donkey?
Or how about walking?
How about
You explained the whole time what a car is, anyway, let's go back.
Let's not go there again.
Let's
Do they
not go
make
there.
donkeys with air conditioning?
Huh?
Do they make donkeys with air conditioning?
Donkeys air conditioning.
They are
yeah.
air conditioners. They're called the Tammuz.
They're called?
They're called the Tammuz.
They're called?
They're called in the month of Tammuz. They
Oh
are air
yeah,
conditioners.
that's right. They don't need air conditioners.
Yeah.
Donkeys are supposed to be cold.
All right, let's go. So this name, as deep as it is understood that the name is not his Sechel. The Haina, which would mean his neshama. This is something to contemplate on to the extent that we can. It says Sechel Ayin neshama. It is an extremely important statement for us in our world, because in our world, Sechel, smarts, has been usurped by a superficial value system in the world. As we said, that people thought of a car. They thought of a car. is a broad, quite all-encompassing human thought. This will enable us to transport ourselves, along with many other people, in comfort, and to transport without getting exhausted to far distances, which as a human being relates to far distances. He's not limited to his little environment. He has to. He can see that. He can see himself visiting all kinds of places for all kinds of different purposes. Then, when this car is reduced to a racing car, we all understood that the whole principle of the car is lost. It's no longer a car. It's a motor. It's a mechanical machine. Sechel. Where is the Sechel of the person identified? In producing a mechanically successful racing car or a comfortable, util car. Sechel speaks of something valuable. Like I said lately a couple of times. The Eiffel Tower. What a structure. What's the point of that structure? Zero. Compare that to the Empire State Building. Compare that to any normal building, office building, or residential building of size. It also requires an enormous amount of engineering and technical skill. So Sechel, this is the human contribution to the world. He gives a value. What's the world about? The Torah says right away in the beginning, Nilu's heart, fill the earth. What for? That's what they said, fill the earth. V'chipshua, and capture it. Conquer it. Bring a human sense to every part of the world. This is neshama. This is the neshama of the human being. This is what he is being sent for. This is what vitalizes him. This is what justifies his preoccupation in the goings on in the world. Then beside there is the name, which is also touching and representing deep aspects of the human being. But that representation in name, as deep and as all-encompassing it is nevertheless not the same, not Sechel, not nishmos. This is not his neshama. The fact that you can call forth, bring back the person from faint by calling his name, it is not that the name represents his neshama. This is not the reason that you can call it neshama. Why do we say that? Practically speaking, the name brings the neshama. You would think that the name represents the neshama. Says no, that's and to be understood that that's not the case. The hare for behold. Okay, we go further now.
Where are we?
The last line on the page called Memtes. The hare for behold. Koi dem shaba'on hanshama begrove. Before that, the neshama came into the groove. Ein otzricha l'shum shem. He does not need any name. See, the neshama prior to being in the group has no name, does not need a name. That shows that the neshama and the nerve are two different elements. The name is not identifying the neshama itself. Meisha Kosu, V'likutetera, Davar Hamaskim Mimono, Perikal. It says in V'likutetera, in this mind, but he talks about the Meisha Kosu, talking about the person. Adam le'motzo ezer kinei ezer. Adam Arishain looked around. He opened his eyes and started observing what's going on in his world. And Adam le'motzo ezer, for him, for Adam, he found, for every creature, he found a pair. He found a place in the world. For Adam, le'motzo ezer. For Adam, he did not find Ezer, an assist. The Ezer, who Hashem. So he says in Kutiteiro that the Ezer, this is the name element that brings a person into the world. The neshama and the neshama koi the groove before it's imbued in the groove, imbuing in the groove. He did not have a name and did not need a name. Only when the neshama imbues itself into the groove and begins to function with and in the groove, then it needs a name. Hainu, which means to say, the Hashem who, that the name, that is, that element, Shemekasher as neshama im haguf, that connects the neshama, binds the neshama with the guf. How do we kind of translate these words? The name is what binds the neshama with the guf. It's very, 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 very deep. Are you ready for it? The neshama is life itself. Life itself. It's a godly reality. When the neshama comes down into the guf, this coming down into the guf comes along with an assignment. The guf becomes active. It brings the neshama into an active state into the world. What are you doing here? What are you here for? The neshama comes out into the group for a certain mission, as we said before, a certain purpose. This is why a person who is perfectly healthy in every respect, but he fails to identify a purpose in life. It's devastating. Because a person, the neshama in the group, is not just a presence, an entity. Its reality is what it is there to accomplish. An interesting phenomenon of AyinBase, our day, past days, nowadays this has become quite prevalent. There was a time when there's a tremendous focus on making money. Making money meant there are all kinds of different means of making money: investments, inventions, whatever it is. There are many people who have been successful in that arena. Very successful. And then when they discuss their path in life and all the successes that he experienced, he turns around and says, I don't know what I was doing. Okay, so I made another investment. I made more money. Okay, so what's this about? How is that identifying my presence in the world? What am I doing here? This has been a recurring reflection. Because just to establish one's presence in the world, to guaranteed his success, his personal presence, is not the purpose of the human being. The Rebbe always used to say this going back, reflecting the thought process in America. The first thing a baby is born, how is he going to make a living? To make sure that he will be able to make a living. Instead of, what's his life going to be about? What's going to vitalize his life? How is he going to make a living? It's exactly what we're talking about. The neshama is life itself. The neshama in the goof, is not to give sustenance to the goof. The neshama did not come to the goof to give sustenance to the goof. The neshama came to the goof to guide the goof and to accomplish things that the neshama cannot accomplish without the goof. This is why the neshama is so deeply involved with the group. Because to the group, he can accomplish things that he cannot accomplish without it. What does the neshama want to accomplish? The neshama wants to bring godly life every place in the world. In order to do this, he has to have the group, to the good things, to show that there is goodness and good and bad and so forth. That's the group. So therefore, this connection with the neshama and the group is of a different quality than just giving the group a life, giving the group a presence, a a thing that he can live with, that he can exist. This is the name. Name means that there is a presence. Like we said originally, a child is born, you give him a name. What is the significance of that name? What is the meaning of the name? There is an entity that is significant to the world. He aims to affect the world. This is what oil is. He has to impact the world.